Going live at a total surprise and picking some locks. We can probably have some kitty cat content right now. Lock picking. Yeah. You know, we'll see if anybody decides to drop in. Probably won't be a whole heck of a lot. This is very surprise, very spur of the moment, very unannounced. But I just felt like hanging out with some people on the internet. I'm an internet denizen these days, apparently. Boop. All right. I want to say one thing, which is that most people I see trying to pick these Avis 7240s, they like to pick it up here, top of the keyway. And to me, that's one of those emperor wears no clothes situations because I always preferred bottom for it. Now, maybe it's my leftyisms, maybe it's my experience picking these things on bridges and stuff like that, where you need to be a little more expeditious and also dropping a tensioner could be rather unfortunate, but it is what it is. Um, in other news for the two peeps in watching, one peep watching. Uh, Hi Janice. Yes, I do have many much cats at home actually. Um, as soon as I get this lock open, I will pan and show you some of them. Yeah. In other news, I gotta tell y'all, I was driving today for work, and I got the news update that we're going to halt uh aid to Ukraine, and I gotta say I'm a little bit of ashamed to be an American at the moment. Just speaking my God's honest truth right now. But you know, I'll be you know, I'll be readily honest with y'all. My father is Israeli. I identify as Israeli American. I have an Israeli passport. The recent and ongoing violence in that neck of the woods, it's very hard for me to like to see the, the good guy and bad guy is a little bit questionable in that war. But I don't know, the Ukraine war, it's so to me, it's so obvious who the protagonist and who the antagonist is in that thing. It's so readily apparent that Ukraine was invaded by an aggressive outside nation. Hello, hi Union, hi AB Factology. I think it's just so shameful that we're cutting off aid to them. I you know, I'm I'm a patriot. I love my country, but I am not. I'm ashamed to be American today. And I'm sorry, to be overly political. Maybe I should, you know, keep my opinions to myself. I always hated the bidding on this 7240, by the way. But it's just every every update is just so frustrating these days. The past month has been quite difficult for me personally. Um, for those of you who watch my long format videos, you'll know that there's been a lot of upheaval in my own personal and professional life. And Between that and the current state of the world at large, it's quite a time to be alive. All right, let's not be depressed. Let's not be depressing. Let's be happy. I'll be much happier when I get this fakakta lock open. When in doubt, there's much better lock pickers. I'm watching the better lock pickers right now. I'm watching Lady Locks and Pocket Woman, which y'all should be doing. Don't watch this crap. I can't pick a lock for shit. You know what? It's the on-camera jitters. That's what it is. There's only three people watching. Who gives a damn? But yeah, that's my thought on that. I think it's quite a shame overall. I think it's quite a shame. All right. You know what? Let's take a break from the lock. Apparently, it's not my time to pick locks. Y'all can meet one of my cats. This is Ben. Benny, Benny, Benny. He was actually my first rescue. He's named Ben because I found him on Ben Avenue, and he is an excellent, excellent kitty cat. When I found him, um, he was mangy and unfixed, and just all around in a bad way. But now he is just a mischievous, wonderful merchant of chaos. Because sometimes it's like that. So yeah, that everyone give a big shout out to Benny, Benny, Benny. All right, back to the lock. We're gonna get this one, folks. One thing I want to do is okay. And while we're at it, this is Emily. Hey, go me hipu. Emily's a very excellent Tory, although she's been very nervous right now. She's always been a nervous cat, but she's extra nervous these days for some reason. I don't, and I think she might need to go to the vet soon, but money's been very tight, so you know, it is what it is. But we're gonna take her to the vet soon. Okay. Yes. So those are two of my cats. My other two are elsewhere. Uh, Fred is Fred, who is Emily's litter mate, but also completely different from her in every way. That's how multiple dads work sometimes. Um, is currently in max luxuriating mode, and Louisa, who is my other rescue, Ben, no. And of course, we also have my two foster cats who may or may not show up as well. There are many cats in this house. I bet the non-cat people are thinking, "Wow, there are." Did I count? Oh, and I didn't even mention Louisa, my final cat, another tortoiseshell. Yeah, so there's 6 cats in my apartment, unofficially. Yeah, I bet the non-cat people are going, "God, I know what his house smells like." Yeah, 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 yeah. Shh. Kitty, kitty, meow, meow. So yeah, what's interesting is that even though Fred and Emily are litter mates, the true best friend circle is Fred and Ben. Together, they are absolutely wonderful, and I could literally watch them do goonery at all times. Uh, I often refer to them as the Goon Squad because they're a bunch of goons in the together. But lately, some of Ben's goon-worthy behavior has been intimidating Emily, which I don't love, and which he's trying to do right now. But we're not going to let him. I keep gaining and losing my false set, and that's rather frustrating. All right, now we're making progress. Thumbs up, Joe. Wait until you see the kitty cats. They're even they're better lock pickers than I am, apparently. And they don't even have thumbs. All right. Yay! I can pick and lock. Let's see. Maybe I started off on too high a level. Let's do an easier Avis. Here's this 4140, which I like to think of as what the Master Lock number 3 should have been, but isn't because American people, American lock companies, and companies in general don't want to give you anything nice because it's a race to the bottom and quality costs money. See what else? How are we doing, folks? the six of you who just became four of you, who will soon become two of you. I don't know what's going on, but how are we doing? What are y'all? How's y'all day been? Have we had a good day? Did we work? Did we go to school? Did we sit around playing with ourselves the whole day? Let me know. What did we do? Please don't tell me if you played were playing with yourself. I don't want to know. Actually, that's none of my business, and you shouldn't make it anybody else's business. It's your business and nobody else's. Sorry. What you're witnessing is an adult with ADHD raw dogging it through life. That should be like the moral of the story is if you react well to Ritalin or Adderall, maybe take it or don't. Actually, I'm very against those. Not saying that not saying that um, that I might be from a place where there's a lot of Scientologists, but I am very pro psychiatry. I'm just not super pro giving uh neurodivergent people super strong stimulants and amphetamines and being like, yeah, go be in society now with the norms. That's the that's the ticket to current and future success. See, what else should we do? That was kind of easy. Let's level up a little bit. Not too hard, but oh right, I promised to show Fred. Fred, there's only three of you now. The three of you get to meet Fred. Here's Fred. He is the babiest of baby boys. That's a good baby boy. That's a baby boy. Baby boy. Baby boy. Baby boy. Fred actually had his birthday recently. His birthday is February 24th. He just turned four. And here is his mate in the goon squad, Ben, approaching to do some absolute goonery. Oh, and look, here's one of my fosters, Sunny. She's decided to show up and then run away. She's available for adoption. Benny, Benny, Benny. He is a Benny, Benny. Ben, 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 Ben. Ben, 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 Ben. Baby boy. He's a baby boy. Ready, baby boy. If anybody who's watching has pets, do you sing to your pets also? Do you mind my singing voice? I know it's terrible, but I don't care. This is my life. If you got a problem, Ready, baby boy. He's a baby boy. He's got floof. So does Benny, 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 Ben, 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 Ben. Benny, Benny, Ben, Benny, Ben. He's a Benny Ben. Ben, 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 Ben. Yeah, big advice. Get a cat named Ben because you can adapt pretty much any song to the name Ben. And don't believe me? Name a song in the chat, and if I know it, I will try to Ben theme it. Come on, let's see what you got. In the meantime, here's Metallica's Master of Puppets. Ben, 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 Ben. And there he goes. Ben, 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 Ben. You can't really do that with Fred. Fred, 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 Fred. Kind of. I also do apologize for the sirens, but I live in a place where sometimes crime happens. It's lovely. All right, back to the locks. I've got people suckered in with cute kitties, and now I'm gonna bore you all to tears with picking locks. But I need to like be in my I need to be in my schmagaggies. Also, all right, let's choose a lock. I did easy stuff. Now we're gonna do something really hard. So I probably won't get it. So if I don't get it after like, okay, we're at 2050 on the stream right now. This is a gold D9 from Japan. They're quite let's put it to you this way. If I struggled with this fella, I am not getting this guy open today, but we'll give it a shot. Um, Design wise, it's got a really small key. Only this part actually goes in the lock, but it has 9 pins, three on the top. This is a max lift. Uh, Three on one side and three on the other side, and the key is reversible, so it goes either way. Ben, stop it! Menace to society, dude. Menace. All right. Anywho, we're gonna give the D9 a shot, but I struggle mightily with these locks where pins come from multiple angles. So the chances I actually get it open, not great. And if I don't get it open within like 10 minutes, we're gonna move on because I you know, Ben, stop terrorizing her. It's not right, dude. All right, here goes. Gold D9, assuming I can find a good tensioner for it. How about this one? Does this work? How about this from the bottom of the keyway? That'll do. I don't love it. Oh wait, I knew what was working really well for me. Where's that? Of course I misplaced it because nope, found it. Woohoo! All right, yeah, Allen wrench was the tension tool. Look at that, nice and snug gives good control. I like it. Here's the thing with these locks where pins come from multiple angles. In the event that I do get it picked, which I don't think I will, I gotta be very careful not to over rotate it, or pins from one angle will drop into pinholes from the other angle, and that would be unfortunate to say the least. uh, what's interesting is that the gold D9, despite the and I'd also add gold locks in, or sorry, let me actually Japan locks, Japanese locks in general, and gold locks especially, they don't, you know, they don't like use fancy mechanisms or anything like that. It's just 9 pins. In this case, they do come from 3 axes, but they have locks where pins come from only, there are that are just normal. They don't use secondary mechanisms. They're pin tumbler locks. They don't use weird, like slider sidebar or lever stuff. But what they do more possibly better than any other country or manufacturer is their tolerances are just so good. Um, it makes picking extremely difficult. Which is why I said I'm giving myself about 10 minutes, give or take. And if I don't get it open, we're just gonna move on. I've picked it before. I picked it a long time ago, and I almost bricked the lock. You know, it's a pain in the butt. And yeah, and I can't believe that there are people who have picked the Hello Spider. And I cannot believe that there are people in this universe who have actually picked this lock's big brother, which is the goal. Or sorry, there are multiple big brothers. There's the Goal V18, which has 21 pins. um, up to 21 pins, and then there's the Goal GP, I believe it is, which I think has up to 24 pins when fully populated. If somebody picks locks in the chat, let me know if I'm talking absolute garbage or not. But if nobody picks locks, then well, that y'all should start picking locks. It's good for you. It's good for your mental health. You know, I'm pretty sure all our mental health is struggling considering what's going on globally speaking of late. It's been quite a week, quite a month, quite a year. I kind of think in a way that 2025 is the year we are of finding out of the chickens coming home to roost. And I don't love that, but it is what it is. Uh, we'll just have to make the best of it and try our hardest. It's a pity that these goal locks are not available. Well, I mean, look, I mean, that's a nice click. I'm looking for more of those nice clicks. This is, I do wish that American lock manufacturers gave as much of a crap about the quality of their locks as Japanese lock manufacturers, which is kind of funny because in I don't know if y'all know this or not, but in Japan they have an over 90% conviction rate in their courts, and lock picking is very much illegal in the country of Japan, and yet their locks have some of the best anti-picking uh, qualities in the whole world, and I think that's at least certainly ironic. I like, actually ironic, not like Alanis Morissette ironic, like ironical for real. And the funny thing, and Spider, if you're still in the chat, just saying, but look, we all we might fail, but you know, and some things are really hard, but some things are really easy. And it's all about starting with the easy stuff and then leveling up. The real trick with these D9s, I think, is having just really good tension control because there are such good tolerances that even little movements can have big issues. So all all good. It's allowed to do something, believe it or not. But yeah, I was gonna say if some things are really hard, but not all things are really hard. We start with the easy things, and then we move up to slightly harder things, and then we move on to really hard things. It's not just for locks; it's for life too. It's hits bong. Profound man. I'm also for the side pins on this lock. I also struggle with what my tactic should be. Whether I should be trying to twist my pick like this to set them, or whether I should just kind of use a very short hook angle to and try to push them. That's kind of a conundrum for these locks. Now, I will say one saving grace for these locks, because it could be even worse in theory, is that the pins themselves are not perfectly offset. Like they're not touching; they're staggered. So that does, free up a little bit of space, because in theory, if they were perfectly offset like that, if they were touching when they're at rest, then when you move one, your pick is naturally oversetting the other one in theory. And that would suck. Now, that doesn't mean that this isn't full of overset traps. Believe me, there are tons of overset traps, but um there's definitely it's less likely that you'll be oversetting one pin while you're trying to set the other one. If you're going to overset, it's going to be because of the excellent tolerances and the milling in the core. Because this lock has, I believe, first off, the parts are very small, but it has torpedo key pins. It's got over milling, under milling. There's a lot of you know, ways that this thing locks pickers into traps. And in all likelihood, by the way, this false set would imply that I probably have overset one of the torpedo key pins, and they're actually stuck in the milling somewhere. All right, I think we're coming up on about 10 minutes of trying this lock, so we're probably going to have to level down. It looks like I cannot pick a brown belt lock tonight. At least this particular brown belt lock. Uh, I'm I'm so far at a green belt level tonight. We can confirm that. Maybe I should have picked a blue or purple belt lock before going straight to brown and being like, I choose suffering. I volunteer as tribute. Benny, Benny, Benny. Benny is a Benny. He's a Benny burner. Burner, burner, burner. Yeah, I cannot decide what it what my strategy should be for the bottom, for the side pins, whether it should be simple pushing or twisting. If anybody who's watching right now is a lock picker who has experience with the D9, what do you prefer? What do you prefer, twist or push? Side of the pick or tip of the pick is basically what I'm saying. Okay, now we've definitely given it 10 minutes. Ready for some disappointment? Huh, not as many pins dropped as I thought there was. I thought I was gonna hear click, 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 click. But yeah, it's amazing how much evil the Japanese are able to fit into a tiny format. And just to give you an idea, this thing is not big at all. And it's a little bit different than an American mortise cylinder. Well, this isn't a mortise cylinder, but nevertheless, it's quite a lot. See, Scout cookies. We'll have an ADD moment at the moment, and I'll show you what I mean because I think it's amazing that that's a brown belt lock with just 9 pins. Now, this master lock, you might think, oh, it's a master lock, but this is the 6852, which is a key and knob cylinder compatible lock. And this actually has a DX5 cylinder in it, which has meh bitting, but it has 6 pins. They're all gin spools, and on the side it has 5 sliders that are springless. Uh, and this is also a brown belt lock. Uh, I've I've picked the top row, but so far I'm having a lot of difficulty with the sliders. But so there's a chance I'm going to. Hello, stick a pot. I'm picking locks today, but there are also kitties. Here, hold on. Stick a pot's a longtime loyal viewer, so she deserves to see. Say hello to Fred. Hello, Fred. Fred is the your best good boy. Best good baby breed. Yes. And also here's mischievous Benny Benny. Rescued him from Ben Avenue. That's why his name is Ben. When I first found him, he was a scared, unaltered, mangy little kitty. And now he is an absolute merchant of chaos within my apartment. But that's okay, because I love him all the same. He's just a Benny Benny. That's all the cats that are in the room right now. Benny, Benny, Benny. He's a Benny, Benny. All right, all right. Let's try something. Okay, first off, let's try something a little bit easier just to make me feel better. I want to show you all this. This is a very rare master lock. It's called the 991. Uh, it's very similar to its still in production Pro Series cousin, the 7040. Although this is very shiny chrome. You can almost, well, if not for the curved surface, you would be able to see my reflection in it. Whereas this is a little bit meh. And there's some other differences. The most crucial difference being that this one has ooh, sexy spring shackle. I'm not gonna lie. Part of the reason I really like picking locks is this because gives great satisfaction. Anywho, let's pick this sucker open for the actual satisfaction. Property of David. Meow. Yeah. So this is actually a very rare master lock. It was made for a few years in the early 2000s, the noughties, and then discontinued, and it has not been seen or heard from since. And they are very rare. They pop up on eBay. Never actually. I've seen exactly one of these pop up on eBay. This one, and I bought it. And you cannot have it because I really like it. It's look, it's not. It's a master lock. It's not going to be super difficult, but what it is a lot of fun, and it's very pretty. And aesthetics mean something sometimes. And also the angle that I'm holding this is making the camera in the way of my fingers or my hand. All right. But you see that great counter rotation that it gives for you pickers? Like, look how oh, I lost my full set. No, overset something. You see how clearly defined that counter rotation is? Which for the non-lock pickers, it's it's this. It's the when I push up on a pin with a spool driver pin, there's a very well defined counter rotation in the tension wrench, which is a great teacher for spools. Although I lost my full set again. There's one pin that I'm just there. It is. No, oh, I thought that was the one. The implication here is that I'm not getting the binding order right because I'm dropping pins, which would also imply that I'm using too much tension because I'm having multiple pins binding at once. Well, let me just reset it. Sometimes if you get lost, it's good to retrace your steps, and sometimes it's always good to start from the beginning. You get a mulligan. This is lock picking is not a timed sport. Open is open. And if you don't like where you're headed and you feel like something is wrong, don't be afraid. Don't feel like you need to. It's okay. Start over. You know how they say the camera adds 10 pounds? The camera makes it much harder to pick locks. I also had to scratch my eye there. I apologize. You know what I always thought would be really cool? Just side note, just rambling. It's a ramble time. Maybe if I start rant, maybe if I start rambling and stop thinking too much about the lock and overthinking it, it'll go open. But I always thought it'd be cool if I ever got like this channel really big. Like, just to be clear, there are already more subscribers to my channel than I ever thought there would be. Cause uh yeah, I'm just not a social media type of guy mostly. But if I ever got really big, I think it'd be really cool to go on a live and just say, okay, everyone, we're having a sing along right now. And just to get as many people like in wherever they are to just start singing some random freaking song that I'm also singing and making a fool of myself. It would probably start with All the Small Things by Blink 182 because it would just be funny. Like, just have this vision of like, uh, Howard Beale from Network, like everyone going outside and I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. But instead of that, they're just outside going, say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me. Na 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 na. Anyways, late night, come home. Work sucks. I know. She left me roses by the stairs. Surprises let me know she cares. Anyways, I'm just being a massive goofus maloofus right now. Besides, I think I think I think choosing Blink might give away my millennialness a little too much. We gotta go something more like of the moment. It'd probably have to be Not Like Us, right? Say Drake. The problem with me and doing a sing along is that I pick something that's like way too obscure because I just feel like, no, man, everyone's got to get some new taste in music. I keep giving bad people good ideas. I keep giving bad people good ideas. I keep giving bad people Okay. Yeah, we're all having a death grip singing along. Yay! Let open. It took way too long. Now, one thing I want to say about these master locks, they have a very strong actuator. So if you close them, if you pick them open, do yourself a favor and reset the core. Because if you push it closed with the lock in a picked position, there's a non-zero chance that the lock core, that the spring goes "Pew," and sends this entire core a full 180 degrees upside down, dumping pins. And that would really suck, and it would ruin your day, and it would turn this lock into a maraca, and that's not fun. That's the opposite of fun. All right. In the meantime, let's try its less pretty cousin, the Pro Series 7040. Although, this does have arguably a less forgiving keyway. Not to say that the Pro Series keyway is at all unforgiving, but it's maybe a little bit less wide open than the whoa, than the 81 keyway, which is a little bit more. Actually, this is not the standard 81 keyway. This is actually the very hard to come by because I like putting obscure stuff with obscure stuff. I was into obscure stuff before it was cool. This is actually the 81 reserve. So this is a restricted keyway. Uh, Once again, I might be a YouTube, or I might not be great at YouTube, but I am an eBay god when it comes to looking at obscure master lock shit. Not sure that's what I want to be like super proud of and call myself a god level at, but that's where we're at right now. That's the timeline we're all living on. Woo! So I'll say hi to my girl Emily. I'm gonna flip the camera for a second. This is Emily. She hates me right now, but it's okay. Mihi, boo, wee. All right. Yeah. EGADS, folks. EGADS. Let's try the Pro Series. I, I would like to say this in defense of Master Lock. This is probably the best Master Lock that you can get easily in the United States. Now, most Master Locks, number three has entered the chat, are kind of hot garbage, and we all know that. The lock pickers like to make fun of them. It's a rite of passage in a manner of speaking. But the Pro Series locks, although they're not world class locks, unless you put a world class key and knob cylinder in them, uh, but they're, even the standard padlock cylinder ones, they're not great locks, but they're more than adequate for general purpose use, especially when 98% of attacks are not going to involve a lock picker. Um, and as if to prove that, I actually have a Master Lock Pro Series padlock on my storage unit, and I trust this core. Um, Whether I should or not is debatable, but I can, and I know I can pick it into it, and I know a locksmith will have no problem picking into it if they wanted to bother, but it's good enough. It's a one extra step that my next door neighbors have not taken. That will be that one extra step that will make the turd burglars think, hey, maybe I should try the other ones without the extra master lock on it. But what I'm getting at is this particular master lock, the 7040, is generally speaking available at your local Lowe's, not Home Depot for some reason, but Lowe's. Um, and if you're in the market for a padlock for padlocky reasons, I, unless you're going to go to a locksmith and get yourself an actual good lock, this is probably one of the better options. Uh, it's a nice uh grade of steel. It's got a thick shackle. The core is good enough. It's it is really textbook American mid-level lock in that it is very much good enough. We save American exceptionalism for the military industrial complex. Our locks are certified meh. They're not certified lover boys though. Wop 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 wop. In other news, uh if anyone watched the Oscars, Conan O'Brien got in on the Drake diss, and I think that's hilarious. Anybody in the chat, team Kendrick like me? Anybody team Drizzy Drake? Or anybody team I hate that music, it's just too ghetto. In which case, that Super Bowl halftime show was just for you, my friend. Ah, see what I said? See? This this is exactly what I'm talking about. Got a very strong spring, so if it slips, which it just did for me, it's going to return past this, and then you get like, okay, which way am I going? Am I going this way or am I going that way? You know what sucks is that the lock was picked, but now I have to return it to its locked state because I've it's snapped away. That sucks, dude. All right, should I pick it again? Yeah, that doesn't count. Shackle didn't move. Cord wasn't fully rotated. It's not open. That sucks. All right, that is so unfortunate. Um, all right, 10 people watching. I'm asking anybody here, Team Kendrick, Team Drake, Team Not Like Us, Team Drop and Give Me 50. Huh? Anybody? Oh, wait, no, there's a new rap beef right now. It's between Danielle Bregoli and Travis Barker's daughter, Alabama, apparently. That seems like a rap beef I want no part of. For that one, I'll just be like, suddenly realized I was also a rock controller. I got an idea. It'll make my life easier. What if I zoom, move this out and zoom in slightly? To give my little more space to move my hands, not cramp my style as much. All right. We're not losing tension. It's picked, but we are actually going to rotate it with this because I was not going to lose that one. Dang. And now remember what I said. Reset the core before you close it because that spring is no joke. Mishy, boop. All right. What else? What else we got? Here, I'll do a little lock show and tell on a historic lock. It's got a great story. Some of you who are actual lock pickers will have seen this on Lock Picking Lawyer's channel a long time ago. This is the miracle lock with the Ingersoll 10 lever core. Uh there's a- th- I always like a lock with a story, and this one definitely has a story. As you can see, this is a US government lock, and it was designed to lock up, I believe it was munitions lockers and whatnot in uh, for the U.S. military, and it's it actually they actually made another version which was even more stout, which had a shield on one side, so that when the lock was in place, there was almost no way to access this shackle to cut for cutting. It was one of the most cut resistant padlocks that wasn't a puck lock I've ever seen, and it uses a very clever 10 lever core with something that resembles either a fence or a sidebar. But anyway, so you've got 5 levers on one side and 5 levers on the other side. The key is not reversible, and it's just very beautifully made. The core is made in England by a company called Ingersoll, which is now part of the Assa Abloy Group, with basically every other lock company in the world that isn't Master Lock or Schlage. And the American company that made it, Liquid Miracle Lock Corp, a subdivision of Liquitronics Industries Incorporated, uh, lost the contract to Sargent and Greenleaf, and went out of business shortly thereafter. Although they made this lock, supposedly the lore is, at least according to the lockpicking lawyer, is that they were not paying their bills to Ingersoll for these 10 lever cores. So after a little while, Ingersoll actually stopped shipping the 10 lever cores, and the later locks were sold with an Ava core, I believe, or at least an Ava-like core. I'm not exactly sure about that core. Um, the Ingersoll 10 lever is a very interesting core with a very cool key, and this is a very cool lock. And what's amazing is that in the UK, Ingersoll still manufacture the Ingersoll 10 lever core, and I don't believe they make a laminated lock anymore, but they still make a lock just like this. I think it's called the Impregnable, and it's not cheap. Uh, I think it's about 150 pounds. To get to buy one, but which I didn't. For the record, I did not pay 150 pounds or even $150 for this. I did not even pay triple digits. But I'm saying to buy them new, they're very expensive, but they are certainly worth it if you're securing something high value. These are, I mean, look, there's a reason these were chosen by the U.S. government. This is a good lock. This is a very good lock. And now you might ask, David, have you ever been able to pick this lock? No. It's 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 you know what? Let's take it apart because it's a different mechanism than most pin tumbler locks, and it's an interesting and beautiful mechanism. All right, so it's held in place with two Phillips screws. I'm not gonna like fully gut, but I'll show you all the mechanism because it's anybody with an interest in locks or engineering or just small things. I always thought that people who are interested in watches and horology would be very interested in lockpicking just because it's that kind of, you know, very precise uh machines doing very precise tasks. All right, let's remove the key and hopefully, yep. All right, and then this whole thing is actually the core. So we're gonna move it to the unlock position, and hopefully it will allow me to very carefully and without losing the ball bearings remove the core. Arr, there we go. All right, ball bearings have been saved. All right. So here's the core. These are the levers or levers. Um, and this is the fence. This is what keeps the lock from opening. When the key is inserted, the fence can drop in and this entire core can rotate around a housing inside the lock. And as you can see, there's this channel right here in the lock. Those are the ball bearings that hold it closed. But the fence, when the lock is locked, sits in the channel. And when there's no key in the lock, the fence cannot retract or the sidebar. This is more of a fence, actually. It swings, but it's also kind of a progenitor of lever sidebar locks, which are very popular in Japan, for example. Um, but yeah, so what happens is these these 10 these are the 10 levers or levers, and they sit in the lock. And when you insert the correct key, and I always thought this mechanism was quite beautiful in operation. All the levers line up so that the gate is correctly lined up. The fence can then fall in, and then the lock will turn. The very clever mechanism. And also, this is the actuator for the ball bearings. It's actually integrated. And what makes this very tricky to pick is, well, first off, there's 10 levers. Um, is that first off, those levers are super tapered, which means you just got to keep tapping, 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 tapping. So yeah, just to show one thing, right now, the key is inserted fully. So that is the correct key. So the fence can fall in, but if I retract it one thing, the gate is no longer going to allow rotation. And now I can't open the lock. So there's correctly inserted key, not inserted key. And but the thing that really frustrates me is this big fat Delrin O-ring in the back of the core. Because what that effectively does is just put this just dragging force, and it really mutes feedback. Um, excuses, excuses, excuses. Just be a better picker, David. All right, see if we can put this sucker back together on camera, no less. All right, do it live. Yeah, I'm. Oh, good. Great, grief. All right. That's in place. What I'm gonna do here is, all right, Pocket Woman's live stream ended, and so now we are going to actually have an opportunity, yay, to turn off. Sorry, ADD moment. Turn off TV. I don't want to watch Doug DeMuro right now. Nope, I did a boo boo. I did a mistake. I did a bad. Nope, back it up. 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 Guys up. All right. Let's try that again where I don't drop ball bearings. Yeah, I know, G Keeman. My balls are all over the place. It's part of the 5150 process. Also, it's that stinking O-ring. It makes it so hard. Yeah, I saw that. I actually stayed watching her live stream the whole time on my TV. I turned it off because I saw it went off, and Doug DeMuro came on, and I was like, "What? I guess that's my sign to turn off the television." So now I was just showing telling this Ingersoll 10 lever miracle lock, but now I'm putting it back together successfully, semi successfully. All right, 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 right. All right, it's good to do this in the unlock position so the ball bearings don't block the screws. Here's every time I'm working with Phillips head screws, I'm going to repeat this like a freaking broken record, but it's worthwhile. Here's my petition. It's time to move past the Phillips head screws. Or the Phillips head screw. There are better screws in this world. I'm thinking mainly of the hex head and the Torx head. Also the Robertson head for the Canadians. Um, they're just more better screw heads. Wi- Yeah. Yeah, this is one I had to get. I think the core is just I think that the mechanism in operation is just absolutely beautiful to behold. Now, speaking of things that are beautiful to behold, putting it actually back together again would have been nice. I was like, where did the shackle go? Yeah, this lock has lived in my naughty bucket for quite some time. I cannot seem to pick it. Yeah, these are some big, fat, heavy screws, so I'm not gonna change them out, but, definitely, I will say this for, like, I don't ha do I have one handy? Well, let's just pretend that this Master Pro Series is an American lock, 'cause, Master uses hex heads, but American loves to use, like, number 2 or number 1 Phillips. I hate those things so much, and I've made it like a prerogative of mine to change out all the Phillips heads for hex heads because it's just a better design. I'm not an engineer, but I do play one on television. The hex head and the Torx, but the hex head because that's more common is just a better system. It's just better. It's it's time as a society to move past the Phillips head. It's had its day. It's not great. It is the master lock of screw threads. It's okay, good enough, I guess, but it's not really that good in reality. All right. Should we give the duo a shot? Yeah, why not? So for the non-lock pickers, this is actually one of the best wafer locks, which is usually something kind of garbage like this Corbin. Um, or what else is wafer locks? You interact with them all the time. Is probably your car. They're not great. They're actually quite terrible, most of them. But some of them, yeah. Those rivets. Yeah, that's another thing. Like once I get that rivet out, screw is becoming a uh a hex head stat. And if I could find some fine thread, ow, stab myself with the frickin' rake. Uh, if I could find myself some fine thread torque screws easily, I'd probably use those. But I- I- I'll I'll settle for hex head. I'm not complaining too much. This Corbin is putting up more fight than it deserves. Yeah, all those Series 10, Series 20, Series 50, I think they made also. They all have that rivet in them. And all right, at this point, you just switch to the hook and see what you're missing. Yeah. Trying to think what was my first American. Oh yeah, it was a 5200. I still have it actually. Um, what's funny is I actually used that 5200 to lock up the U-Haul when I moved when I drove with my brother across country when him and his wife were moving to their new home. Which I think also underscores a point. You don't need to have the be all and end all of locks all the time. You don't always need this. This is not a harbinger of good things. If I can't pick the little shitty Corbin, the duo is not happening tonight. But we're gonna give it a shot either way. Oh, so on the subject of a 5260 with restricted keyways. Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me return to the rake on this one. Dude, this must have some tapered wafers or something. I'm making excuses for my inability. These things, for you, sometimes they fall open in like 3 seconds, and sometimes I'm like this, where I'm like, what is it? Actually, you know what? Maybe go with the go with the standard Bogota. There we go. Like, if I couldn't get Bogota for the win. Oh, speaking of for the win, check this out. This is I'm not sure whether I'm done with it or yet, but here's a little little homemade pick. Use the short hook profile from the covert companion because I don't use those in excuse me the covert companion, but I think it came out kind of nicely overall. Look, am I Picksmith or DMAC? Not even close, but I think it's coming along well. Here's this Quintrake cousin. Still, this one's still very much a work in progress. I added a tube pin to center stuff, but I also need to clean up all this JB weld. um, but yeah, as I was saying, okay, American 5260 with restricted keyways. So because of the homeless issue in Los Angeles, there's a lot of homeless people breaking into power boxes to um, connect their RVs and whatnot. So I actually also have a 5260 with a restricted keyway. This, I believe it's R8. Um, but yeah, these is just a ground find because just people keep breaking shit. But yeah, basically what happened is some homeless people needed were tapping into like a power box by a power pole. And so they cut not the lock, obviously they cut the hasp. Um, but as a result, I got this lock. And what I also found out, which I think is kind of cool, they also were kind enough to also cut off another hasp with this lovely vintage 5100 from WFK. F is 90, K is FG. I don't know. Math is not mathing right now. Yeah. No, these are both hard. These are both steel. The 5260 and 5100. But this, if you look closely, this is the this is a former railroad padlock. I think it's a Metrolink. Um, Thanks, homeless people, for giving me your stuff. But what I found out, rather interestingly, is that the R8 keyway, and let's see if I can find the key that actually works, because that's a good thing to have. Um, The R8 keyway is actually compatible with the Master Pro Series blank. So the more you know. Uh, and it also turns out that these two locks are actually key alike. Rather funny. I'm not going to show the bidding because just in case this actually corresponds to something serious, let's not show the world. Even though there's only 9 people watching, y'all don't get to see this. The letters, the manufacturer letters, or this MTL. Got MT on the back of this one is MTL SIG, which I'm guessing stands for Metrolink Signal. Um, Geez, homeless people, y'all gotta have, yeah. Um, but the manufacturer dates are VFJ and WFK, and I do not have a printout right now of the American lock date codes, which is unfortunate because I can't get those. Cause hold on a sec. What in the technology is happening? Oh, the things I do for completeness in my OCD. Oh, good lord. Hello, more nervous cats. There are 3 nervous cats upstairs. All right. Okay, I went and got my iPad so I can look up the American lock date manufacturer codes because I am that kind. And April '94 was that WF sorry, was that WFK or VFJ? Oh, there it was. WFK. VFJ is 95 May. And that actually makes sense because this is an older they this so that's actually kind of cool because you can see um this that's when they introduced this kind of American Lock USA printing instead of like the more classic logo that this maybe was when the junk unks were living, and this is a little bit later, although pre Master Lock acquisition. These are the good American locks, not for sale. Yeah. And this is what the 5260 currently looks like with the logo. April '94 and May of '95, almost exactly a year apart, and the logos changed. Kind of fast. Fascinating from a historical standpoint. Cinco de Mayo. Is it Cinco de Mayo or is it Drinko de Mayo? That's the real question we want to ask ourselves. Wait, I thought maybe I'd make my life easy, and all right, we're gonna take a crack at the duo. I think I can do it, therefore I can do it, or therefore I am can do it. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, the trick with the duo is oops, is the side wafers. This yeah, these are all I got very boring bidding on this side wafers, but the side wafers are these little guys over here. Here, I'll actually use my right hand. So yeah, these these guys right here on the side. You gotta set them first, or otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. Anyways, as far as the duo goes for me, sometimes I'll get it pretty quickly, and sometimes I'll just be ping ponging back and forth. And when that happens, what do? You go back, you check your side wafers. Always check the side wafers. I don't think I have any. Yeah, I think R2 is one of the more common restricted keyways. I don't have any R2s, although I want one because they actually looks like a cool looking keyway. Also, 82 is really awesome because the oldest American that I own personally is the same age as me. It's an I have a 700 from 1992. Um, but it's just a standard AM5 or AM3 or whatever keyway. Yeah, it does kind of look like a mini Schleg. It really does, like a SC1 or I don't know, or like like a mini like best A keyway almost. But yeah, the definite worthwhile factor to figure out is if you ever get a keyless American lock with the R8 keyway, uh Master Pro Series blanks will fit down the keyway just fine, and because they use the same spacing and pin specs. You know what's funny? I don't think I have any 1305s whatsoever, and as a matter of fact, no, I don't. I don't have any 1305s, and I have no 1205s. I got a lot of 1100s, obviously. I really need to sell a few of them because I like Lady Locks and am no great fan of the 1100. It's a can I pick it? Yes. Do I particularly enjoy picking it? Not really. I vastly prefer like Master Pro Series or the Lottos or the 7240. And like if I want to suffer with serrated and crunchiness, this is probably the go-to for true misery and pain. Did you also get it from Harbor Freight or Harbor Freight rather? Flea Market, Montgomery. It's just like no. Okay. That's an early 2000s meme if there ever was one. Anybody remember Flea Market Montgomery? Hold on, I think. All right, we're gonna go a little bit longer on this. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get one more open, and then we're gonna call it a night. Whether that open is this or I throw in the towel with high level locks at 10 p.m. and decide to go with something a little bit easier. Remains to be seen, but we're definitely going to keep plugging away at this frickin' duo. All good, G Keyman. It's 10 p.m. where I am, so I'd have to assume it's like 1 a.m. where you are. So three cheers for insomnia, right? Oh, now we really are the lock picking meower. Hello, Mrs. Boop. Hey, Boop. Oh no, 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 no. We don't want to show anybody your butt. Back to the lock. Where did I put? Oh my god, the hook was right here. Ben, can you stop menacing Emily? Like she came out and she was on the desk, and that was nice. And we got to have kitties and locks at the same time, simultaneous locky kitty. Simultaneous master lock and Michis. 1 second. You know what the funny thing is? I'd say 102. Holy crap! But I am also an insomnia sufferer, and there is a non-zero chance that sometime today around 3 a.m. I will be up feeling very active about life, thinking, God above, I need to do some work. 3 a.m. Sounds like it's time to sweep my floors. And this wait till a reasonable hour of the day? No, we're doing it now. Well, and in response to Benny Hill, I would say spay and neuter your pets. It'll reduce the instances of one-eyed cats, at least due to fighting-related injuries. In life or in sleep or in both. You know, for some reason, you're the only one who's chatting right now. But no, I can't. I'm not like using Streamyard or anything like that. So it's just It's just this. I really want this duo. I want. Oh, did you? You didn't. Yeah, you didn't get in on the. What happened was is that I actually got a very good deal. Yeah, come on. There's 8 people alive right now. G Keyman is monopolizing the chat. 9 people. Come on, somebody say something. All right. Nice, nice deep falset. Come on, somebody. You know you want to jump in the chat and make me laugh. Or, ask a question. I'm an open book. Ask me something controversial. See if I can cancel myself. But yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, a while back I got a really like a really good deal on a 12 pack of new old stock duo padlocks. And uh so yeah, back when picking time was still a thing, I think it was during the picking oh no. I dropped every single pin trying to switch my tensioner. That's all good. That's fine. I'm not about to walk around this room screaming and cursing. It's all good. I am not affected in any way, negatively or positively, by this disaster that just befell my picking. Uh, in fact, I'm so not negatively affected. I'm just gonna rake a duo. That's how I feel about this. At this particular instance, if I rake this sucker open, I'll laugh so hard, dude. David can't pick shit today, but he raked a purple belt lock. No lie, that's a deeper falset than I've been in the whole time single pin picking. Let's see if we can single pin pick the rest of it. Oh, let's go! Purple belt, mostly raked, but I don't care. Give me some. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Summon the coolness. All right. Let's take a break from picking. Yeah. Benny, Benny, Benny. Here's a Benny Banner. Burner, burner, burner. The one, we don't know how old Ben is. I've had him, he's been living with me since 2020, late 2021. I took him off the streets in December of 2021. And the doctor who fixed him actually said, I'm not sure how old he is, but his teeth stay old. I'm sorry, Benny. You need to show the world your one scraggle tooth. It's not great. Yeah, his teeth say he's very old. His activity level says he's about 3, and his stink breath says he's lived in a hard life before I took him off the street. But right now, he is a luxurious kitty, and he's very annoyed at me. But your breath smells like fish bait. Mmm. God, I need a haircut. No, I don't. I keep my hair long like this because I'm part of the rare breed of men with alopecia. um, so I'm cherishing what hair I got while I still got it because it ain't gonna be for long. Baldness runs on both sides of my family. Uh, what else? I said I was gonna cut it off after I got the next open, which was the duo, which actually surprised the shit out of me because I didn't think I was gonna get the duo tonight. But then you know what the solution was to rake most of it. Maybe I got rake mojo. You know what that means? We got to do another thing that would be hard to single pin pick, but I can rake. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You know what? Thick flag padlock. Somebody made this a love lock, but not anymore. It's mine, suckers. Because okay, I'll say one thing. I can respect whoever put a key mark as a padlock on a love lock bridge. That is props. Yes, I've never been able to single pin pick this sucker. It is just look at that keyway. Look how evil that is. That is just a satanic keyway. But I have been able to rake it to control on multiple occasions, which is how this lock, which was attached to a fence at one point, yeah, Keymark is got so many just absolutely diabolical keyways. They really try, because the thing is like most SFICs, they're all standard pins. So really the keyway is their defense. And if you can make it around the keyway, it's just like any other SFIC. It's not, there's no angled pins or anything like that. This is the Can David rake this sucker open. Because I got rake mojo today. I raked a purple. Well, I mostly raked a purple belt lock, and I just finished it off single pin picking. 9 people are here. It's SFIC. Um, it's SFIC, and uh it's pinned for some reason the first chamber is not populated. So it like at all. Like not only Like, it doesn't even have a cap on it, which I think is interesting. Yeah. I don't have a whole heck actually, come to think about it, I don't have any, classic LFIC. I have one, Schlage SFIC, or sorry, FSIC, the Schlage LFIC that isn't LFIC, but yeah, I'll show y'all my one LFIC, FSIC, whatever in a second. I wonder if anybody in the community has blanks for this particular key mark keyway and could, like, I could ship it to them. Picksmith. But yeah, LFIC is cool, but like it can be so confusing sometimes because there's just so many different designs of LFIC. Is this control? No. Oh, I know what it is. It's angled in a way that. Whoa! Actually, since I reset the Choreo, let me get that one LFIC FSIC padlock I have. Pretty cool. I actually I don't use it, and I think whenever I hit 2,000 subs, assuming I do, but hopefully I will. I'm at 1,700 and something right now, so the march of progress only goes. But I think this is going to be. I've been discussing it for a while, but probably going to give this lock away uh, in a challenge drawing for the 2K subs, which is this FSIC pack lock um, with which is beautiful brass. This is just a big fat hunk of brass with a shackle that's just absolutely pipsqueak. It's the same size as the shackle from the 90A. Like it's an 1100 shackle on a just fat body. Hilarious. But Everest Prime SFSIC. So I'm not sure what the challenge is going to be because to to win this, you're going to have to do something special. But yeah, this will probably be in a giveaway at some point. Uh, if anybody wants a FSIC LFIC Schlag Primus Everest Primus with there's the sidebar bidding and there's the standard bidding. I like this high low at the very end. It makes for some pretty evil times. Bidding doesn't matter except when it does. And this is one of those cases where, yeah, bidding does kind of matter here. This high low at the very back is a little bit of a pain. It's actually not as much of a pain as you might think, as long as you use a slightly deep hook. You can maneuver around that pin. It's not a zero lift, but yeah. Hey, this ain't a just send it to me. This is gonna be a giveaway. You're gonna have to do something. I'm thinking you're gonna have to pick a lock of blue belt level or above in the presence of an animal at the entire time. And if you don't have any pets, go to like a Petco or something like that and be like, "Hey, can I stand by your cats that are available for adoption and pick this lock?" That'll be an interesting, funny one. You'll certainly get some like, huh? going to be the Lock Picking Pets 2K challenge. But for the record, the reason I'm fine with giving it away, yeah. So you can, yeah, pick a lock in the presence of your dog. But yeah, I'm fine with giving it away because I actually have the same core, but in kick format. Uh, but yeah, it's the exact same core. Ask me how much I hate Schlake Primus. I even said in one of Lady Luck's chats, yeah, 2025 is going to be the year I finally get open that frickin' Primus. Don't hold your breath, people. You know what the mistake was? I didn't end the live stream after I picked that duo. That was a high note. I picked a purple belt lock. I was feeling pretty swaggy, and now less so. Ben, you menace to society. Oh, the Primus. Oh God, I hate the Primus so much. It's you know And this is me bitching and moaning when I actually know that the Primus is just a twin combi on easy mode because it doesn't have the gen drivers or the milling. Like that's insane. But yeah, where you messed up with that the Primus is taking it apart. Those finger pins and the springs. Ay 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 ay. Like that's honestly one of the reasons why I put the Primus to the side was like I'd rather work with the springless sliders in the CX-5. It's less of a pain in the ass. Not to say it's not a pain in the ass, because God, springless sliders are a pain in the ass. But um, just from a gutting standpoint, it's definitely less of a pain in the ass. You don't have to deal with those tiny sidebar spring. Well, you still have the sidebar springs themselves, but you don't have to actually deal with the actual finger pin springs, which is oh heavenly. Yeah, something was definitely stuck somewhere. All right, one more try. Hey, why are you intimidating her like this? Uh, my guess is, like the case usually is, I've never actually managed to hit the operating shear line in this core. I've hit control more than once, but I've never managed to hit operating. So if I hit operating today, that'll be a first. But in all likelihood, if I'm gonna get it, it's gonna be control. Which is weird because in my experience, generally speaking, it's actually easier to hit operating because especially if the lock is mastered, there's just so many more permutations to hit um, operating than control. But not with this lock. And what's the lesson we're taking away here, folks? Leave well enough alone. I picked a purple belt lock on camera using a hybrid breaking single pin. Why am I starting to sound like Donald Trump? I break the purple belt lock on camera using a hybrid single pin picking and breaking technique. It was it was the best opening technique I've ever used on the duo. Oh, okay, now I'm switching into somebody else. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the key mark keyways. It is a little similar though to the standard best H keyway, especially with that thing, but the best H actually I think it's a little bit more demonic than this. Do I have a lock with a best H keyway handy? Yeah, actually, love it. I love it when there's something convenient. Like that's from Satan. Yeah, I despise the H keyway from best. Look, it's not the W series. But good lord, is it challenging? Just a keyway test. Yeah. You probably know this better than I do, but did Best introduce any new keyways for Cormax, or was it just all the same stuff, just with that stupid little check pin in it? Yeah, me neither. But like this is a pretty evil keyway, but as far as like evil SFIC keyways, I can't even figure out how to get a pick in this sucker edgewise. Like, look at this. Oh god, it's this friggin' Kaba Peaks. Oh god, look at that. Yuck. I mean, you want to talk about difficult placement for warding. These two guys, oh, paracentricity at the very top of the keyway is just, oh, it's just not fun. Yeah, I've never been able to get anything on this thing. I can't even set pins. It's just brutal. Which is funny because I was, or funny-ish, I guess. I'm funny like I amuse you. I was in Salt Lake City Airport once on a connecting flight, and they actually used Kava Peaks to secure their most of their doors, and I thought that was interesting, because they actually don't use a super restrictive keyway, which is I found somewhat odd. Maybe it's just Utah is a nicer place than Los Angeles, because at LAX, at least for their restricted areas, they use Everest Primus. Uh, um, look for their like low security stuff. They use just regular Schlage, which I think is kind of funny. But uh, but yeah, for LAX's secure areas, they use Everest Primus, which I think is a better system than Kaba Peaks as far as security, or at least pick resistance goes. Um, but yeah, they had some wide open keyway at Salt Lake City Airport. I was like, dang, Utah is a different place than where I live. California is not for beginners. Yeah, look, I got this 25,000s pick. It's not. Oh, it'd be an interesting. I'll tell you one thing though. It'd be an interesting challenge to try to impression that stupid peaks. I don't think I stand a chance between the fact that it's probably mastered to hell, the multiple shear lines, the stinking keyway. Oh boy! To quote South Park, you're gonna have a bad time. Yeah. You want to open, or at least go to hit the control shear line, which you have done before, but now you are not doing it because why won't you do it? I don't like that. Why won't you do that? I find your lack of open much disturb. What? Jesus Christ. I find your lack of openings disturbing. Here, sympathy for the master lock. Come on, David. There's literally a video of you opening this without a pick, just with two turning tools. Maybe let's try that again. All right. Master number three, turning tool already in it. Let's get another turning tool. This is the ticket. I'm gonna like puff up my chest really quickly, and then I'm gonna probably call the stream because it's almost 11. All right. A turning tool and another turning tool. Oh, this thing's fat. Do I have a skinnier turning tool? Maybe thicker pizza? A spy pie? Maybe. I don't know. Do it. Yeah. Spider, you're back. All right. Let's try this. Master number three with two turning tools. All right. Seated. Here, let's try that again. Prove it was not a fluke. Oh shit! I lost the. Yep. Not a fluke. Repeatable. Like really repeatable at this point. Well, you know what that would imply, G Keyman, is that it's just that in that case, I was using the wrong profile because I was using a three peak Bogota, and it's too aggressive for this very flat bidding. But the flat, hello, Pocket Woman. Yeah, but I was gonna say, so yeah, um, I couldn't get it with this because this is too aggressive. So so I'm oversetting pins, but with something a little bit more gentle, maybe it'll probably go way quicker. Yeah. But yeah, Pocket Woman, we were discussing how I was totally failing miserably at getting it with the actual three peak rake because it's too aggressive in its profiles. Now it's aggressively profiled on the floor. But yeah, um, yeah, the bidding is on this is very flat. Um, but so Spider, to answer your question, I've gotten many locks that I've been working on today, but the actual like goal, uh, the D9 I did not get, and that's I'm fine with that. Today I was not meant to pick a goal D9, but that's okay because I got this duo, and now just for shigs, we'll just keep embarrassing this master number three. But yeah, I'm perfectly happy with my lock picking performance today on camera, all things considered. There you go. Once again, we open a master lock with just two turning tools. And remember what I said, a lot of master locks are good enough for general storage. This is not one of those. This is not good enough. This is doo doo, poo poo, stinky caca, very bad. Don't use it. Just throw all master number threes in the garbage. They should be incinerated and forgotten. Holy smokes, I'm about to call it a night, and now there are 12 people watching. Everybody's here. It must be the Aussie crowd. You know what's funny is now finally Benny has calmed the heck down. Benny. Benny is calm. Redness is calm. Baby boy. The goon squad is chilled out. Right, goon squad? You are the head of the goon squad. This man is chief goon. This Benny Ben. Don't let the white bow tie fool you. He is a goon. Hey Spider, come and try it, my friend. Come and come come and take him. No, don't actually. All right, we're gonna do bet. uh, what else we're gonna do? What else should we do? Should we call it a night? We'll go until 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then we shall call it a night. How about that? Cash me outside at 11. How about that? All right, but in the meantime, I need a lock pick. All right. It's almost 12. Yeah. All right. Here, I'll show you all. This is my favorite discontinued master lock, the Model 533. Is it a hard lock to pick? No, absolutely not. But is it a very competent lock for daily use? Yep. Yeah. Oh, it's 12. It's almost 12. Yeah, it's almost 11 here. It's almost 2 up in the Standard Time for you goons. I wonder if I stay on a little bit longer. I wonder if I stay in a little longer, I'll get the Euro crowds tuning in because it'll be like morning and they'll want to wake up for coffee and a little bit of David. Speaking of time zones, you know what I always will I be on tomorrow? No. So uh this was a very unplanned live stream, TBH, and I this is also my first ever lockpicking related live stream. Usually I'm doing more cat centric content. So there's a non-zero chance that there's going to be a cat-related live stream this weekend at on Sunday, uh, where I'll be at my feral colonies feeding the cats and answering questions and whatnot. And there's always a chance for unplanned live streams. Let me be a YouTuber. Subscribe, like, share, blah 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 blah. Make me rich. Help me fulfill my dream of helping all the kitty cats in the world, and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, tomorrow, no, tomorrow I will be doing therapy at 9 a.m. And I will obviously not be live streaming that one because good grief. Uh, and then I'm going to be doing some other stuff, which is none of your business. Uh, uh, but yeah, I mean, yeah, tomorrow, yeah, therapy time. Talk with my dad about some private matter stuff. Uh, which like I said, yes, G Camming, yes, it does. It says property of David, meow, here it says in French, property de lock picking meower. Uh, am I ripping off Georgia Jam a little bit? Yeah. Do I care? No. Plagiarism? Yup. Come and get me, H bomber guy. Nope, you're not seeing things. Meow, meow. Did you know how much this vice cost me? Hello, Zoe the cat. Hold on, Zoe the cat. I have kitty cats. Allegedly. We'll pan to the kitty cats in a second. I'd like to get this Brinks open. The trick with this Brinks is that it's got super. This is another one of those locks where bidding doesn't matter, but this one it does because it's just super extreme bidding. I don't know who made this lock, whether it was. Yeah, this is the Harbor Freight $20 special, but I just took off the Central Machinery branding and put on property of David Meow because it's my property. Meow. That's right. It's mine. Meow. One day I'll save up and get the I don't know. Money's been super tight for me of late, so I haven't really had a whole lot of extra liquidity, unfortunately. So trying to save up, take my cats to the vet. Uh, I gotta service my car. It's gonna need new brakes soon, which is gonna be not cheap. Um, yeah. All right. All right. Open. Okay, Zoe the cat still there. We're on cat show and tell again. Meow 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 meow. All right. Here's Benny. Benny Ben. Benny Ben's a tired Benny Ben right now. But don't worry. In about 45 minutes, or whenever I get really tired and decide to fall asleep, Ben is going to decide I am the most. Here, Spider, we're gonna do it like this. Benny. Yeah, that's a Benny Benny. It's a Freddy baby boy. Yeah. I've had Fred since he was 8 weeks old. So he just turned 4 and he's doing a lick lick because he is truly an elite level cat. Lick lick. Oh yeah, baby boy. Baby boy. Baby boy. Well, Emily showed up. There's Fred's litter mate, Emily. She's a little bit more on the nervous side, which is why she's been hiding under and she's been sick of late. She needs to go to the vet more than a. So no, uh, he's definitely orange, but he's far too small to be a Maine Coon, and he's a shelter pet. He doesn't have any paperwork, and kind of the thing with cats, kind of unlike dogs, is if you don't have breed paperwork, it's kind of just a cat. Like, you know, like raccoon. Yeah, there used to be raccoons in my next door neighbor's crawl space. All right, anyways, we're actually gonna shut this off for a second, so y'all don't need to see how disgustingly dirty the rest of my apartment is. But we are gonna head up and say hello to the other cats before they decide to run away. This also means you get to see where the magic happens, aka my bedroom. Um, woo! So there's Sunny, and that's Louisa. Sunny's very. Louisa is another rescue. You guys can see she's got the ear tip. She was DNR'd by somebody else, and then she was brought off the streets by moi. And then there's Sunny being Sunny, and this is Sunny's brother, Sully, who's the least social by far of all the cats, and is probably planning a way to run downstairs right now as we speak, but it's not going to work out. And now back downstairs. Nobody gets nobody gets to see the nasty. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baby boy. Okay. I think okay, 10:50 was right. I said I was gonna go until 11. Yeah, all my cats are just yeah, but to summarize, all my cats are just cats. Of the 4 cats I own plus the 2 fosters in the apartment, Fred and Emily were shelter pets, and the other ones are they're just straight up street rescues. Either became mine or that are looking for forever homes. And excuse me, I am sorry. I hope that didn't show up too much. Um, but yeah, but yeah. So I have no idea, beyond domestic short, medium, or long hair. They're all mutts, as it were. Yeah, it's a shame Brinks doesn't make locks like this anymore. This is just a Series 625. It's basically an American 5260, um, made by Brinks. Um, and yeah, look at the bidding is absolutely satanic. This this is a lovely combo. It's always nice to put a pretty much max lift between two super low pins. Nothing difficult about that. But yeah, this also it's full of spools, and they are American style serrated spools. So this is it's a nice little lock. It's a shame that they don't make it anymore because us us fans of American lock manufacturers can't have where did that 533 go? Anything nice. These are all quality American locks that are or there none of them are actually American Lock, the brand, but all of these are American lock manufacturers. These are all decent locks, and they're all discontinued. It's so unfortunate. By the way, here's a funny one that I'm actually. This is actually a little bit of a Frankenstein. Or no, is this the one with the? Oh, this is the one that has the 17 core. That's just a normal lock. I thought this. Yes, I have two of these. I have two of these discontinued master locks, which I'm pretty sure, considering they say they have an American lock date code on them, were made at the American factory. But I like this one because I put in an Abus core. it's This is a Maybuster. Yeah. So it might say master, but the core is from an Abus 4140. Um, where did I put the key? Yeah, this is a bit of a Frankenstein's monster of a lock, but I'll tell you one thing, it sure looks cool and funky. But yeah, it's got a core from an Abus 41. For the record, the body on this is excellent, but the original core is just another shitty ass 4-pin W1 like sack of crap core. So while I can complain all about, why don't they make this lock anymore? The body is exceptional. It's just a 5260 body, but the lock core is jello. It's the same one that I was embarrassing with that master number 3. It's the same 4-pin, 0 security pin, no anti-bump features, no hardened, nothing, nothing, nothing burger of a core. Should I give this Frankenstein lock a shot? Let's do that. I got 2 minutes to 11, which means I turn into a pumpkin, but we're gonna give this Franken Maybuster a shot. And where is my favorite tension wrench? Which I gotta tell y'all, the 40,000 bottom of the keyway. Yeah, it was SEH, and I haven't. And the other one is WEH. Weh. There's it's a whole line of what's interesting about them is, they use American lock style actuators. So they are this one, the keyway is probably too tight, but like, if you can get in the keyway, these are all probably vulnerable to the American lock bypass tool. But still, it's just they're really pretty, and so I don't even know what number these are because they don't list it. And but I'm assuming that the model number on this is the 534 because they also made a model that was smaller, that was called the, pardon me, that was called the 536, and they made one that was a 5260 size that was called the 535. So I call this thing kind of process of elimination the 534. Which seems like it would make sense because if the smallest one is the 536 and the mid-size one is the 535, wouldn't it make sense that the big one would be the 534? Like, the last number gets smaller as the lock gets bigger. I'm getting a little. Yeah, one thing that's fascinating about these locks is that they do not, cannot, and will not take a 6-pin core. They're not long enough for that. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, Spider. Hope to see you soon. And yeah, there's plenty of cat related content on my channel. There's not a whole heck of a lot of lock related content, but if you like the kitty cats, there's definitely plenty of that. Stick around. You'll enjoy it. I I hope. Awesome. Awesome. Glad to hear. Yeah, have a good night, man. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it tremendously. And for everyone else, as soon as I get this sucker open, we're calling it a stream. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of 5150 is starting to sweep over me. It's kind of funny is I think this is actually yeah. I have a screenshot cuz um they put it on a sheet of the American Lock Technical Manual, which is available from the Master Lock website as a PDF. So I just screenshotted like that particular part of the PDF, but like so it's in my photos. Yeah. That's also how I find out about these like old out of production rare master locks. Is like find, catalogs from back in the day and I'm like, "Oh, well that's a master lock I've never heard of. Let me go find it." And then let me add an Ameri or an Avis core to it, so it becomes much, 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 much more difficult. Mhm. Yeah, I got a couple, but I have no keys for any of them. Go get them in a second. You know what's funny is that this block combo of the 4150 or 4140 core, it's, 5-pin Avis core with spools, and the kind of master lock heavy actuator spring is kind of it's way out kicking the sum of its parts. Yeah, I got every single one. American Pro Series, like, I love to dog on Master, but credit where credit is due. They are their site kind of sucks, to be honest with you. Like the design, the UI on it is basura. They need a new tech expert. But I mean, let's keep things let's be real here. The UI on their website is far from the only thing that is related to Masterlock that is in the absolute garbage. And yeah, but the point is they do list their documentation, and they list their documentation in such a way that is much more easy to find than some other companies. Abis. Sometimes finding technical specs from Abis can be like pulling frickin' teeth. Yeah, but knowledge is for sharing. Knowledge is a powerful tool, and people with power tools usually hurt themselves. But still, see, I thought this was going to be a quick 2-minute pick because I can pick Master pretty consistently. I can pick Avis pretty consistently, but the sum of the two of them has led to a 10-minute mono e mono with this shit lock. I wonder if this counts as a challenge lock because I mean, this is not the same lock as it was when Master made it or when I found it. Damn. All right, we got it open. GP man, I think that's gonna be the last lock I pick. But yeah, all right. That's the last lock we're picking. But here's just for completion's sake. Here's my Wilson Bohannon collection. Now, first off, this lock, it doesn't have any branding, but I mean, it's a meter lock. It yeah, it literally is a 5260 body. It even has the American lock date code. It's just it's it must have been from the government 5260s because it will not hold a full length American cylinder. It'll only hold a 5 pin. Which is why the Abus 41 cylinder works very nicely. Or like the other one I have, because I have two of these 534s, I swapped out for a master lock actuator instead of the standard actuator that it comes with, which is the American actuator. And this has a 17 keyway from like 25. Um, but yeah, so anyways, I have this IPL meter thing, which is a brass shackle. It doesn't say WB anywhere, but that's a WB keyway. And I mean, look at it. Everything about it, from the fact that it's a former meter lock. I found this on a love lock fence. But yeah, everything about this screams it's a WB. Now, everything else here I can confirm is a WB. We got this beautiful brass on brass one COG. Yeah, is City of Glendale, Arizona. Um, I believe. Uh, and these two do not. Yeah, these are slightly older ones. They don't have. These are the yeah. Here's a newer one. This Bahia. I'm assuming it's the LTL freight company. Uh, I don't know. Funky keyway. Not paracentric in any way, but definitely funky looking. Um, and this is one of the newer ones with the ball bearing locking mechanism. But yeah, I think they're the oldest lock manufacturer in the United States. Actually, is WB. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, U-Haul. They have a contract with U-Haul, I think, to do the locks for their doors. They're they make very pretty locks, and yeah, they are. They very much still are. Yeah, I think they might have even managed to get a hang of padlocks.com, which would be very, you know, which is it would be fun to have that URL. All right, I did manage to rake this guy, but I'm not going to right now. And last but not least, and this is like my ultimate Wilson Bohannon, and no, I don't have a key, but who cares? There it is, WB Forest Service. Heck yeah, man. Now, this lock's going to be even more valuable pretty soon when when the Forest Service gets shut down by the Doge. But yeah, this is a very cool thing, and I believe I'd actually like to impression this at some point because I think that's a Russwin uh, D1 or D series keyway by the looks of it. The only things I have two Russwins with a D series keyway. It doesn't fit a D2. I know that for a fact because I have some D2 keys, and I tried to fit my Corbin Emhart is a Russwin keyway also, and I tried to fit that in, and that didn't work. But remains to be seen. I think this is a Russwin keyway. But yeah, that those are my so yeah, those are my WBs. Um, the Forest Service one is definitely my favorite. Although I like the brass on brass shackles because that's as I've mentioned in live streams previously, I am a brass shackle kind of guy. And on that note, Yeah. On that note, uh, I mean, you know, Herculock is the other one. They're a lot newer, but they also they they're Southern California Edison is the former owner of this lock. Um, but yeah, same kind of thing. Power company locks. Anyways, it's quarter after 11. I need to go to sleep. So I'm glad you guys got to hang out with me. Thank you for being in the chat for so long, GQ, man. It's freaking awesome of you. Um, yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. We're gonna call it a night. But wait, there's more. Say goodnight to Benny. Say goodnight to Fred. And say goodnight to me. Bye.